What's up, guys? It's Nicole. Okay, so I am today going to talk about basically my whole fitness journey. I have quite a few questions from people from Instagram and everything of like how I started, if I played sports in high school, if I've ever been through an injury, just random questions all the time is what I get. So I decided to do a video and just discuss the entire journey for me. So first of all, I'm going to start with, no, I did not play any sports in high school. I worked a lot, and because I wanted to make my own money, I wanted to do my own things, so I just ended up working a lot. I wanted to play like volleyball or something like that, but I just never ended up doing that. So I overall have been like extremely skinny my entire life. Before I started anything, I was about 110 pounds, and I'm 5'9", so I'm pretty tall, pretty skinny. In my senior year of high school, I did start this class, this weightlifting class. But you know how this weightlifting class, you know how high school used to be if you guys took any weightlifting class in high school. You know, I thought that I was strong. I thought I was squatting a lot whenever it was like 185 pounds. And I wasn't even close to being parallel on there. Anyway, after high school, I moved to Joplin, Missouri for college. So I went to high school in Reed Spring, which is near Branson, Missouri, if you guys know where that is. Then I went to Joplin, Missouri. I went to college there, Missouri Southern State University. And so there, I wasn't really into anything huge. My boyfriend at the time was like weightlifting and stuff like that, and he was huge into working out. So I would just bench or squat or do random things that I remembered from high school, or I honestly had no clue what I was doing ever. Or I would just run on the treadmill for 30 minutes, which God knows I did not need that since I was already 110 pounds. I didn't need to try and lose any more weight or anything, but I thought that that was staying in shape. So so that was in 2010 when I started college. So about 2011-ish, I went through a breakup and I ended up losing weight because that was my first breakup, really. So I was pretty upset about it, and I ended up losing weight, so I was even skinnier than before. Finally, 2012, I was just like back to normal, but I still wasn't working out. I wasn't doing anything fitness related. I mean, I was staying active, like playing disc golf, things like that. I've always liked to be outside and do things, but nothing ever to really gain weight or really focus on being fit. So in 2012, I believe, December, I was working at a bar, and I had one of my friends ask me to try CrossFit. So I was like, yeah, sure. I had no idea what CrossFit was at that time. So she asked me to try CrossFit, and then a couple days later we went and did the CrossFit class. It was a CrossFit gym. It was basically in the corner of, it was called Powerhouse Gym. Probably held maybe 10 people in a class. It was tiny. So I went and tried that. It was called True Strength CrossFit at the time. My first day, I absolutely fell in love with it. I was like, I felt like I got a really good workout, like, good cardio, strength, even though I was, extremely weak at the time. I couldn't lift 65 pounds off the ground if I tried. Yeah, so I tried it. The first workout, I don't remember if it was like an AMRAP or something like that, but I think it was for time actually. So it was, I remember back squats and ring rows, I believe. So I just remember, doing back squats at 65 pounds and doing ring rows, and I remember just at the end of it, I was just dead. And it's just funny to think back because I'm like, I remember how sore that I was just doing 65 pounds on this back squat. So after that, I signed up that next day, and I ended up falling in love with CrossFit. So, CrossFit's always gonna be something that I go back to. Even if I've done bodybuilding, I've done weightlifting, I've done stuff like that, but CrossFit just overall, I've always felt like it just is the best workout for my body. So a couple months into CrossFit, I believe it was April or May of 2013, was my first competition. I was like, first of all, I had no idea when I first started CrossFit that you could compete in this. So like I said, May about 2013 is whenever I did my first competition. And honestly, like I just remember, so I ended up getting second to last and scaled, but I remember just how much I learned from it and how much it just opened my eyes to what I needed to work on. People are always scared to do competitions. They want to do well, they want to do Like, the biggest thing that you need to take out of it is it's a learning experience. You have to go through situations like that to learn. I mean, there could be people that come out and do CrossFit and can win first right out of it. But a lot of people aren't like that, and I definitely was not. I remember the last workout in the competition was a 75-pound snatch, wall balls and a few other things. And I ran out crying because I couldn't even do the 75-pound snatch once I got to it. So it's a process, and it's kind of cool to look back on that. And people who are scared to try CrossFit, scared to start fitness, everybody starts somewhere. And I've been doing this for 6.5 years now. And I've accomplished so much with the sport. It's crazy. I mean, I know I'm not going to regionals or going to the games, things like that. People who are able to make it to that level put in a lot of work, and I really admire people like that. It's amazing, because I don't feel like I have the patience or the mental capacity to really get into something like that. So after my first competition, I knew I loved it, and I knew I wanted to compete more, and that's where I started learning, and I really started working on things that I needed to work on. It took me about a year to get a kipping pull-up, and it's something that I literally worked on kipping pull-ups probably every other day at least. Alright, so after I did my first competition, I did multiple competitions after that. I did some partner ones, which I learned that I really liked partner competitions more. And the gym that I went to at the time, we went all over the place. We went and did competitions everywhere. It was awesome. I think CrossFit is so great too, because there's such a big community and just so many people right there to cheer you on. But yeah, it's such a big community. It's awesome that there's people there to push you and just get you to that next level. Yeah, a few years in, I remember I did a lot of extra stuff like strength-wise, just because I was so weak, and I knew that I needed to put in work towards that to actually, finally be able to do normal weights or do RX and stuff like that. I remember doing my first handstand push-ups as well. I think I had a 25-pound plate down, a mat, and I walked out of this workout bawling because I could not get a handstand push-up. And now they're one of my favorite movements. Something that, if you put work in towards it, you can absolutely achieve whatever you want with this sport. So then finally we moved to a bigger gym. I think it was back in 2015 or so, maybe 2016. Finally moved to a bigger gym out of the gym that we were at. So that's when I really started to get better. I had more room and more space to do things. I was able to weight lift and not interrupt a class, and do extra work and not, be in the middle of a class as well. I think I've done overall maybe close to 20 competitions. So yeah, we finally moved to a bigger gym, and I was able to do all those other things. Then in 2016, the end of 2016, I ended up breaking up. Me and my ex broke up, and so I ended up moving to gyms. Well, at the time, I wasn't sure which gym I wanted to go to. I was going through some stuff, and so I actually wasn't doing CrossFit. I didn't do CrossFit for probably 4 or 5 months at that time. That's when I started really just getting into bodybuilding, which I absolutely loved as well. It was kind of amazing to see how different each sport, or each, how CrossFit treats your body, how weightlifting treats your body, how bodybuilding does. I think with CrossFit, I held on to a little bit more fat on my body, and with bodybuilding, I was able to cut more fat and focus on, just certain muscles that I wanted to get bigger or whatever it was. I honestly love it all, but CrossFit's always something I'm gonna go back to. So after CrossFit, after bodybuilding for a while, I ended up finding another CrossFit gym. That's whenever Midwestern Built opened in 2017. So I started CrossFit there again. It's kind of funny how I didn't do CrossFit for 5 or 6 months or whatever, and I come back to CrossFit, and I had to get in shape for CrossFit specifically all over again. I was pretty much just as strong as I was, since I was keeping up with my squatting, deadlifts, things like that. But as far as cardio, stuff like that, if you want to be good at CrossFit, you have to train for CrossFit. It's difficult to come in from not doing CrossFit and start CrossFit all over again. But I really got back into doing CrossFit. I was doing extra workouts, stuff like that, and I started doing competitions with one of the coaches there, which was awesome. We ended up, a few months in, we ended up going to a competition in Arkansas and winning first place in RX. So it's just cool to see from my old videos or my old competitions, from going from second to last and scaled, you know, all the way to going to first place in RX. It was really cool. It's interesting to see how you can put in work like that and actually come out and be where I am today. So now, you know, I was at Midwestern Built for about a year. So just the past year, I have noticed that my Instagram has grown quite a bit as well. And I've gotten sponsors from that and just so much support from people who I don't even know. And it's just so cool to see, and it's cool to see how people are inspired by my journey. You know, I have people message me quite a bit telling me that I inspire them to get into the gym, and that just is awesome. That alone makes me want to continue to go to the gym and be fit, and it's just cool to see that I can help somebody or inspire somebody to better their life as well. Fitness has done a lot for my life. I wouldn't be where I am today without it. There's just so many things that I've been able to do, and it's just phenomenal to me. So the past couple weeks, actually the past month, United Lifters is one of my sponsors. I've been doing some weightlifting programming from them, which has been awesome. I want to do a weightlifting competition here soon, and then try and qualify for a weightlifting meet, which is in Vegas in September. I can qualify with the numbers I can hit now, but I obviously want to be stronger by that time. So just not like a couple weeks ago, I was squatting really heavy though, and I heard a huge pop. It was actually my first time going live on Instagram, and I was squatting, and I heard this huge pop in my hip. So I did my second to last squat. That pop happened in my hip, and then I did my last squat because I was live on Instagram and I didn't want everyone to know. So after that, I haven't really been able to do, like, even an air squat is hurting. So now I've been pretty bummed lately. I just sold my house. I'm in the process of moving to California. So the past couple weeks, as far as my fitness journey goes, has probably been some of the hardest. I've been super bummed because I can't just go into the gym and do a normal workout. You know, it's all gonna be all upper body stuff. I can't do a normal squat, things like that. So I may do another video later on just showing what I've been doing to try and stay positive and get through this injury or whatever it is right now. I'm just trying to give it time to heal, roll out, stretch, kind of do things like that to let it heal, and I've been keeping an eye on it, but hopefully I heal pretty quickly. Hopefully I heal soon, because we are moving to California. We're wanting to do more vlogs at CrossFit gyms, and I'm wanting to start this weightlifting program, so we will see about that. But yeah, I haven't really been doing CrossFit the past month or so. Just weightlifting. I've always loved weightlifting as well. I like getting stronger. I mean, who wouldn't like getting stronger and bigger and whatever else? But we will see. That is my fitness journey for now. If you guys like the video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.